mamas, the age-old saying goes, to be a woman is to perform. I laugh at it. I scoff at it even. I say to you, to that quote, to that saying, have you ever walked a day in the life of a man who gets matcha every day and listens to Beeba Doobie and wears wired headphones and has a little cardigan that's a little bit too small for said man's torso? Have you ever been a performative male? This discussion has been discussed. I have been talking about performative males for like a month now. It's so tired. It's so old. It was a flashpoint where people realized, hey, why are so many dudes the exact same clone of each other? Why are the exact same archetype? And why does said archetype feel like it's all put on? Why does it feel performative, like they are performing? And then people started to say, who are they performing for? Is it for female attention? Well, we don't really know, because it kind of seems like the performative male, it seems like it's dudes performing for each other. It's almost the new status symbol to hold a $12 matcha and be able to be like, listen, I'm so down to earth. I'm so it's the new. It has the exact same vibes as when dudes were putting on skirts in like 2019 and then like never wearing them again after they like put it on their story. Like I have this like vision, and I don't think I ever did this. Hallelujah. But like wearing like a mask and like a plaid skirt and a crop top, that was the lowest. Hey, we're supposed to be in the military, and we're supposed to be chopping down trees, and we're supposed to be providing. And now I sound like, see, if you took the last 30 seconds of what I just said and replayed it in 2019, I would actually sound like a Fox News anchor. But anyways, here's the thing. As someone who probably would fall into the category, or would check a few boxes on the performative male list. Performative males needed a moment of reflection. They needed a moment to look inward, to look in the mirror and say, damn, I do look fucking stupid. I do look so dumb right now. Everything from my vibe. Because, like, here's the thing. There was the first performative male to ever exist, to ever do it. Like, I'm thinking like 3005 Space Odyssey. 2005? What the fuck? Which year was it? The opening scene was like, and like it's like the first monkey to like discover Tool. Like there probably was the first ever dude to like match that fucking cardigan up with like a matcha, and strut down the street listening to Claire. And thousands and thousands of people copied him, and it became an epidemic. It actually became an epidemic that needed a vaccine, which was the discourse about performative males. Hey, is any of this English? Will any of this mean anything in 5 months even? No, but let's just get it over with now. Unfortunately, now the discourse, we're going to get really fucking meta here for a second, but first, about a month ago, there was the realization that the performative male everyone thinks of is cringe. Then came the discourse about the performative male. Then a few weeks later it became the discourse about the performative male, which I know this is starting to sound so crazy, but bear with me, because if you can think the way I'm thinking right now, I promise this will make sense. So it became an almost like cycle, a loop of first, people making fun of the original group, then people making fun of the people making fun of the original group, and also conflating the people making fun of the original group with the original group, saying that you're no better than the performative males. Like, you're making fun of them, but you are performing right now. And then I think there's probably even another layer, probably the layer that I'm on right now, making fun of the people, making fun of the people, making fun of the people, making fun of the person. So where does that leave us now? I think that fashion-wise, we haven't had a moment where like male fashion has had a force update like the type where it like shuts your computer off before your eyes and force restarts it. We haven't had that in a moment. The last time that happened was, as I said, when people were like wearing the most hideous like soft boy outfits in 2019, and then like COVID happened, or during COVID, and then like we got out of our little caves and realized how fucking crazy we looked. That was the last time that male fashion had like a force reset. And hey, I'm no fashion critic, but I can at least like kind of spot when things are going a little scary. And like the classic performative male outfit was an accumulation of the worst fashion trends from like 2020 to present day. Like some that were just not dying. Like the Arc'teryx beanie, which guilty, have one in my closet over there, but that's been around since like 2021, that like dudes have just not put down. Or like, I don't even want to talk shit about a cardigan because I just got a cardigan that I'm so excited to wear, but it not in a performative male way. See, here we go. Here I go performing that I'm not a performative male. And I think this is probably so comical and inquisitive, whatever, to people who are not men. Because this is, the outfit policing and the vibe policing is something that I think runs rampant in other genders, obviously. I think it's men and males that have gotten away with just having a crazy, untailored, and unrefined vibe for so long that we could just walk around as clones of each other, and it worked until like a month ago. That's what's crazy. That's what the discourse needs to be about this whole performative male situation. Men are just, like, we literally can just go copy paste with our outfit, with our personality, and specifically in New York, there's so many people who like copy and paste personalities have always been a thing. It's like sometimes just like a survival mechanism, or it's like it's too much work. Like obviously being like a fashionista is not like everyone's vibe, and it's easy to just like coalesce into like whatever everyone else is wearing. But what was really scary to me was when I started seeing like actual clones in person before my eyes. Like the feeling where you meet someone and you look at them and you talk to them for a little bit and you're like, have I met this person before? And it's not like in a recall to like your childhood where it's like, did I used to hang out with this person? Like, were we pals? Or does this person remind me of like a childhood friend? It's a more recent phenomenon where it's like they remind you of someone that you maybe met last week and they dress the same, and even talking to them, like they have like a manufactured set of interests that are the exact same as like another dude that you just saw, and it gets really scary. And that is the beating heart of the performative male discussion, because copy an outfit, at the surface level, we laugh at said performative males so much and we giggle at them and we say, why are you walking around with that little matcha? Why are you walking around in that little cardigan with your wired headphones? But the bigger discussion is why are you all acting the same? Why are we all clones of each other? Like, and this goes beyond just being like, yeah, listen to Claire. Yeah, listen to Doobie. It's almost like that was the best update. And also, I should say, like the stereotype of like sorry. Hey, so this just fried my brain for a second. The stereotype of a performative male also gets conflated with like a manipulative male, which I feel like checks out a little bit, because like that is the type. Close your eyes and think in your mind, like the people that everyone is describing as like a performative male. Yeah, like that's the type to like manipulate anyone. Like it's almost like dressing The same situation happened with like the whole soft boy pandemic of like 2020 to 2021, where it's like dressing like a little bit more like soft and down to earth and like artsy, and like whole time they work for like Northrop Grumman, or they're like a finance bro, and it's just like a facade to appear more like yeah, I'm just so different and relatable. I don't know. But to get to the root understanding of why this is happening, where these performative males are coming from, you have to understand what they want. They're not doing this for fun. They're not doing this for the vibe. You think they want to be perched on a windowsill, holding a book with one thumb, matcha in the other hand, $50 Labubu on their bag. No. It's all a ploy. It's all a ploy. And this is why I think it gets conflated with being manipulative. It is a mating tactic. Yes. You think that we're so evolved. You think that like men have evolved their brains past like, me want dinosaur meat. And like, me want huz. Like, no. This is just like a cheat code that men have discovered. And it's to appeal to what they think women want, which I think like if you asked every single man on earth what they think women want, we'd be like, down to earth, read a book, in touch with feminines. I don't know. And I don't know what women want. Like, what a broad thing to say. But the jig is up. About a month ago, they all got caught, and now it's in like every like podcast like this, or like news, little culture piece, like saying,
have you heard of the performative male? Have you seen someone walking around with a matcha and Labubu in their bag, but they're a boy?
But they're a boy. They've been caught, and a month later, where do they stand? I am so curious how many people have been putting the matcha down, have been putting the cardigan down, have been going back to playing like Fortnite instead of reading in the park. Like, I actually want a survey. I wish I did like a survey beforehand, like seeing how many people just like lounge, like how many dudes just like lounge at a table by themselves at like Elizabeth Street Garden versus now. I'm actually going to go there tomorrow, I think, and just observe and just see and just people watch. Because now that they've been caught, it's time to find a new game plan. But what is that game plan? I'm sure there's a subset of the people that could have been classified as a performative male like a month ago who are now fully rethinking, maybe even potentially having an identity crisis, realizing, if I'm not performing, who am I? When the spotlight goes off me, what do I stand for? Who are fully rethinking their entire identity, perhaps changing their entire wardrobe, perhaps going back to listening to like Drake or something. And also let me also say, I'm so sure that there's so many people who like even change their music taste, which is like not really a thing you can do on a dime for the most part. Like, but there was probably so many dudes who were like bumping like just like Drake, like Drake, who like switched in their minds to like Clairo and Biba Doobie and like all the people that are like, listen to, if you want to be a performative male, like, and I bet they were miserable. I bet they were like, put the Drizzy back on. And they couldn't. They were trapped in a prison of their own creation. So now, what is the next thing? Now that we've become vigilant, okay, this has happened twice now. Posers have existed since time immemorial, but now that we've caught on to the cycle twice of, like dressing as a soft boy in 2020 and dressing as a performative male in 2025. When the cycle comes around like a cicada brood in 5 years, in 2030, if we're alive then, probably won't be, will we spot it? Will we be able to catch it? And what are the performative males doing? I can't even fucking speak now. I'm like slurring my words. What are the performative males doing now to regroup? Are they meeting under a bridge saying, what is our next tactic? What is the next cheat code to I just spat so far when I said that. What is the next cheat code to get get with the women. So what's the future now? If I were to do a cultural prediction for the next 5 years, I'm going to assume that all the dudes that got caught red-handed are going to do 180 and try and find what the furthest thing to them from what they were doing is, and then do that. So you're going to see so many people putting down that matcha, putting on that cardigan, and then God knows where they will go from there. Because now that it's an ick, now that it's like an ick to be like a guy that's performing, I feel like authenticity is going to be very much valued. Like you kind of saw that shift in like social media, how like 2017 to like 2021 was like all about like the Rice Gums of it all and the Jake Pauls and like flaunt. And then it became like, I'm so down to earth vloggers and fucking all that. It's going to be that, but in real life and with like real people. And like that's going to be what's valued the most is authenticity. I think that's my prediction. Now, I read a theory that like the whole crux of the performative male came from like men's frustrations with, you know, like the looks maxing community for men. How like I briefly talked about this in my last episode, but like specifically like the bodybuilder type like gym bros that think that like if they get like so big and strong and are 400 pounds of muscle, then like maybe women will finally like them. And I think that a lot of people hit that wall and realized you can't make up for like you could be like a terrible person, but like
You'll have big muscle.
and like no one's gonna give a fuck. And you're not gonna win with the ladies. So it's like the same people that try and reverse. And I feel like it all comes back to like a lack of personality or potentially trying to cover up for a bad personality. But all that being said, I know I joked, but I said like to be a woman is to perform. But another theory I read is like it kind of has shifted like a little bit of like power dynamics, because like before and hey, listen, I'm not an anthropologist, but like I feel like a lot of the expectation was placed on women to perform, whether it be like with their appearances or like any number of the like their daily waking lives. Like women have to face like some level of performance, specifically also in like the dating scene. And like men like mostly got to like coast by and like not have to worry about any of that. And now they're saying that like the typical like caveman-esque like methods to attract women like don't fucking work, duh. So that they're like, what do the women like? They like la boo, and it's almost like a weird like pastiche of what like guys think women like, which it like adds to the like the Schadenfreude, the humor of it all. That like that it's almost like guys have found out. Why am I crying? What the fuck? I'm crying because I know I can't drink matcha anymore. Just kidding. And let the record state, even though so many of the boxes have checked for me, I haven't put down that matcha cup once, and I fucking won't. Because I've been about that shit before. I drink that matcha for me. I drink that matcha because if I have a coffee, I'll have a fucking panic attack. And I need like the slow caffeine rise that matcha provides. And if I have anything else, if I have a Celsius, I'm going to be vomiting blood on the floor. So it's medicinal, actually. Thank you very much. What the fuck was I just talking about? Oh, whoa. I was going to say it's so funny that, like, I kind of mentioned it as, like, people act, like, guys dressing this way and acting this way as a way to attract women potentially. But it's so funny because, like, they are the ones who are creating this persona. Like, it's not like this is not there. I don't think there's any. Okay, I don't speak for women. Fucking duh. But if you're a woman in the comments, please tell me, are any of y'all attracted to that archetype? And I'm not saying like knowing what you know now. Like, say 2 months ago, before the casket got blown open, if you saw a guy reading in a park, drinking a matcha latte with a wired headphone in, and you could just faintly hear some Claro coming out that fucker, would you be like,
Hey, what's your name?
I'm curious. I am very curious. But it really is like that classic, I don't know if it was like a Jubilee video or something where like they were like debating like men's mental health, and they were like, men have like the highest suicide rate. And like this lady's like, and who set that system up? It really is a who set that system up moment, because like we don't have to be like, if you don't want to, you don't have to be dressing like this. Like I know it became the meta for men to dress like this and act like this, but you don't have to. You are acting within the confines of the system that we created for ourselves. And I think by now, and probably I'd say, I know I said like maybe in 5 years ago, like the new performative male will be like people just like forcing authenticity, but maybe that's not a negative thing. Maybe that's the through line throughout history of what has been attractive. It's just like being authentic, because it probably is scary to like pursue someone like if you're a woman pursuing someone who is considered a performative male, and then like slowly peeling back the layers of this like crafted identity that they have and realizing like, they're actually the fucking devil, and they're like manipulative and like a gaslight or whatever, and seeing that like, you fell for the matcha trick, you fell for the like la boo boo on the bag trip, and they're actually the fucking devil. I think like maybe one like a silver lining truly could come out of it, that people just try and be themselves more, and dudes realize that like actively pursuing being attracted doesn't fucking work. What is it? Maybe they call it like the law of attraction or something. Like within life, I'm not religious, I'm barely even spiritual, but I feel like one of the few things, like maybe it's like related to karma, which I kind of believe in, is like if you want something, you will not get it. And if you really want something, you certainly will not get it. So like if you just play by your own book and play by your own rules, and like not like perform and try to like lure women towards you by being like a certain way that you think like society wants you to be, hey, you might actually have some fucking luck. Brothers, fellas, you don't have to put down the matcha. If that cardigan's cozy, you keep that shit on, especially in these winter months. But we don't gotta be doing anything we don't want to, because it's your fucking life and it's your personality. And listen, if you're saying, well, damn, I became a performative male because I have no personality, that's okay. There's someone for everyone. There's someone who there's women out there who want like a man with no personality, with nothing, who's just like mayonnaise as a human being, and that could be attracted to them. But like putting on a facade, putting on a mask, putting on a face, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Be yourself. Be who you are. And I'll speak from experience now. I'll stop being like so ominously objective. Definitely growing up, there's like, I jumped between so many personalities. Like I had a phase where I was like super into Homestuck, which was like this like web comic that like still randomly has such like a fan base. Like every time I mention it, there's at least like 10 comments be like,
Homestuck mentioned, shut the fuck up.
And then I was like a super hulock on Tumblr, and then I was into like hunting. I never hunted anything, but like I was like around people that were like hunting all the time, and like really into like airsoft guns. And so like I had like a whole redneck phase, which just came from growing up in Alberta. So like it's very normal to like you start off with no personality. Like hello, like if you're like young, you probably don't have much of a personality. Like you have your base, but you don't really know who you are until you're like, I don't know, I'd say like by 21 I was like, okay, I think I know who you are. And hey, that's the most important thing you can learn, and that's the most important person you can meet is yourself. Someone put that on a fucking t-shirt or something and run me my check. But because if you don't know yourself, you will never fully know the people around you, and you won't know how you interact with them. And I'm not going to pretend like I know everything about myself. Sometimes I'll still like surprise myself pleasantly or negatively on like how I like act in like a social interaction, or like how things shake out in life. It'll be like, didn't know I could do that. Or be like, damn, why the fuck did I do that? So like you're constantly learning things about yourself, and especially as you age. But just try and do it. Live how you want to live. Don't live how you think other people want you to live. Crazy pants. If you need to, put down that fucking matcha. But me, in T-minus, what time is it? 12:30 a.m. In 9 hours, I will be putting on my semi-performative outfit, and I will be walking to Cha-Cha Matcha and getting a purple drink matcha with CBD in it, because the CBD helps calm my matcha jitters. And I will be going to the gym, and then I am going to read from, but not read from a physical book. I'm going to read from my iPad, so, because I lost the physical book for the book I'm reading, so I'm reading the ebook version of the book. You don't give a fuck. You don't give a fuck about any of what I just said. But I hope what I just said made some sliver of sense. I know I'm like probably level 4 into the person making fun of the person, making fun of the person, making fun of the person, making fun of the performative male. Whatever. Just needed it to be said. Guys, let's be ourselves this Thursday, and then never again. And then let's all stop performing. All right, love you all. Have a good rest of your Thursday. I hope you enjoyed my new freaking video, my collab with Sam and Colby, that you guys have been begging for like, I think 5 years. I have been getting comments, and I had so much fun. Making it. Those guys are so chill, so fun, so hardworking. Like I left the haunted hotels feeling cursed, but also inspired. So I got a lot of fun stuff planned for y'all. Like I said, it's never been a better time to be a fucking mama. So lock it in, claim it. Everyone say, I claim. I just felt like Mia Goth, how she zones out in interviews. I spiritually relate to her. Please, okay, after this, go look up Mia Goth interview or Mia Goth overstimulated, and just know that's how I feel so much. Okay, bye.